Welcome to our video, where we'll discuss the top 8 worst foods for high blood pressure. High blood pressure, also known as hypertension, is a prevalent health condition that affects a significant number of individuals worldwide. If not properly managed, it can lead to serious health complications, such as heart disease, stroke, and kidney problems. While a healthy diet plays a crucial role in managing blood pressure, certain foods can get in the way of that. In this video, we'll explore the top 8 foods that individuals with high blood pressure should avoid or limit in their diet. It's important to note dietary needs vary from person to person, so it's always a good idea to check with a healthcare professional or a registered dietitian. They can help you create a personalized plan for managing your blood pressure. So, without further ado, let's uncover the worst foods that can negatively impact high blood pressure and discover healthier alternatives that can support your overall cardiovascular health. But before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay informed about our heart health-related content. Now, let's get into the top 8 worst foods for high blood pressure, starting with Number 8. Sodium-rich processed foods. Sodium-rich processed foods have become a staple in many people's diets due to their convenience and often irresistible flavors. However, indulging in these foods too much can have a significant impact on our blood pressure levels. Let's take a closer look at the link between excessive sodium intake, water retention, and increased blood pressure. Numerous studies and research have established a clear connection between high sodium consumption and hypertension. One study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, found that the average American consumes over 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day, which far exceeds the recommended daily limit of 2,300 milligrams. This overconsumption can be largely attributed to processed foods, which contribute a significant portion of our sodium intake. Processed foods like canned soups, frozen meals, deli meats, chips, and pretzels often undergo extensive processing and contain high amounts of sodium for preservation, flavor enhancement, and texture. However, one of the consequences of excessive sodium intake is water retention. Sodium acts like a magnet for water in our bodies, causing our cells to retain more fluid. This extra fluid puts additional strain on our blood vessels, increasing blood volume and subsequently elevating blood pressure levels. The result is a vicious cycle, where high blood pressure further contributes to cardiovascular problems and other health complications. So reducing sodium intake is crucial for managing blood pressure and overall cardiovascular health. Opting for fresh, whole foods and cooking meals from scratch allows you to have better control over the amount of sodium you consume. Reading food labels carefully can also help you identify sodium content in processed foods and make more informed choices. There are also various herbs, spices, and other seasonings available that can add a burst of taste to your meals without relying on excessive salt. Experimenting with new flavors not only make your meals more enjoyable, but also contribute to a healthier lifestyle. Number 7. Fast food and fried foods. While they're appealing to our taste buds, it's important to consider the less glamorous side of fast food and fried foods and their impact on our blood pressure. Research and studies show that consuming these foods often lead to weight gain and elevated blood pressure levels. These greasy culinary creations are notorious for being high in unhealthy fats, sodium, and calories, a trifecta that spells trouble for our cardiovascular health. Furthermore, fast food meals and fried foods are often prepared using oils that are high in trans fats and saturated fats. These can lead to the buildup of cholesterol in our arteries, restricting blood flow and increasing the workload on our hearts. Over time, this can result in high blood pressure and an increased risk of heart disease. But that's not all. Fast food and fried foods are also sodium culprits. Research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that a high sodium diet was associated with an increased risk of developing hypertension. Worst of all, fast food and fried foods are calorie bombs. A single meal from a popular fast food chain can easily exceed our daily recommended calorie intake. The combination of unhealthy fats, sodium, and excessive calories contributes to weight gain. which further elevates the risk of developing high blood pressure. Opting for healthier alternatives can still satisfy our cravings without compromising our blood pressure. Grilled or baked options, whole grain alternatives, and fresh ingredients can provide the same satisfaction while offering greater nutritional value. Number 6. Sugary beverages. While these tempting elixirs can quench your thirst and tantalize your taste buds, you should think twice before taking your next sip. Numerous studies and research have highlighted the detrimental impact of sugary beverages on our health, particularly when it comes to weight gain, increased blood sugar levels, and the subsequent rise in blood pressure. Let's look at the added sugars lurking within these seemingly innocent drinks. Sweetened beverages like soda, fruit juices, energy drinks, and sweetened iced tea are often loaded with high levels of added sugars. These sugars, usually in the form of high fructose corn syrup or sucrose, can wreak havoc on our bodies when consumed in excess. A study published in the journal Hypertension found a significant association between the consumption of sugary beverages and higher blood pressure levels. The excessive sugar intake triggers a cascade of events within our bodies. First, it leads to weight gain, as the calories from these beverages can quickly add up without providing a feeling of fullness. The extra pounds contribute to an increased risk of hypertension. Furthermore, the consumption of sugary beverages can lead to elevated blood sugar levels and insulin resistance. This occurs when our bodies struggle to effectively process and regulate the amount of sugar in our bloodstream. Over time, these spikes in blood sugar can contribute to insulin resistance, a condition that can ultimately lead to high blood pressure and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. But why exactly do these sugary drinks impact our blood pressure? One theory is that excessive sugar consumption triggers an inflammatory response in our bodies, affecting the lining of our blood vessels and impairing their ability to dilate and regulate blood flow. This results in increased resistance within the vessels, raising blood pressure levels. Choosing water as our primary beverage is the healthiest option, as it hydrates our bodies, without adding extra sugars or calories. If you're looking for more flavor, unsweetened herbal teas, infused water, or homemade fruit-infused drinks can provide a refreshing and nutritious alternative. So, the next time you reach for that soda or fruit juice, consider the impact it can have on your blood pressure and opt for a healthier choice. Number 5. Red meat. Before you fire up the grill for that juicy steak, let's explore the potential impact of consuming large amounts of red meat on our blood pressure. Research and studies have uncovered a noteworthy association between red meat consumption and higher blood pressure levels. While red meat can be a rich source of essential nutrients like protein, iron, and vitamin B12, indulging in excessive quantities can come with a cost to our cardiovascular health. One of the culprits behind the link between red meat and elevated blood pressure is its high content of saturated fats. Saturated fats are known to increase levels of low-density lipoprotein, or LDL cholesterol, commonly referred to as bad cholesterol. This can lead to the buildup of plaque in our arteries, narrowing them and obstructing blood flow. As a result, our hearts have to work harder to pump blood, resulting in higher blood pressure. But it's not just the saturated fats in red meat that contribute to elevated blood pressure. Some studies suggest that other factors, such as the presence of bioactive compounds, may play a role as well. For example, certain compounds found in red meat, including heme iron and nitrosamines, have been linked to increased blood pressure levels. However, more research is needed to fully understand the mechanisms behind these associations. Now, before you decide to eliminate red meat from your diet entirely, it's important to consider moderation and balance. Red meat can provide valuable nutrients, and leaner cuts can be a healthier option. Additionally, pairing red meat with a variety of plant-based foods, such as vegetables and whole grains, can help mitigate any negative effects on blood pressure. Choosing leaner foods like poultry, fish, or plant-based protein sources can also contribute to a heart-healthy diet. These tend to be lower in saturated fats and can provide similar nutritional benefits. By reducing our consumption of red meat, particularly fatty cuts, and incorporating healthier protein options, we can better support our cardiovascular health and maintain optimal blood pressure levels. Number 4. Deli and processed meats. These are a popular choice for sandwiches and charcuterie boards. These savory slices of salami, ham, and sausages have become a staple in many households. However, before you pile them high on your next sandwich, let's find out why deli and processed meats may not be the best choice for your blood pressure. Numerous studies and research have shed light on the potential risks associated with these foods. They often contain high levels of sodium and unhealthy fats and undergo processing that can introduce additional concerns. For starters, deli and processed meats are notorious for their high sodium levels. They are often cured, seasoned, or preserved with salt, which adds flavor, but also significantly increases the sodium content. A study published in the journal Circulation revealed a direct association between high sodium consumption, particularly from processed meats, and an increased risk of hypertension. Furthermore, deli and processed meats tend to be high in unhealthy fats. They often contain saturated fats and trans fats, both of which can raise LDL cholesterol levels and contribute to cardiovascular problems. Incorporating fresh, unprocessed meats, like lean cuts of poultry or fish, can provide a leaner protein option, while reducing sodium and unhealthy fat intake. Additionally, plant-based protein sources, such as legumes, tofu, or tempeh, offer excellent alternatives for those looking to explore a more plant-centric diet. Number 3. Canned and pickled foods. Canned and pickled foods are a pantry staple for many, offering convenience and a burst of tangy flavor. However, it's worth looking at the hidden dangers that these may pose to your blood pressure. Research and studies have highlighted the potential link between excessive sodium intake from canned and pickled foods and the development of hypertension. Now let's look at the preservation process. Canned vegetables, pickles, and olives undergo processes that typically involve the use of salt for preservation. This salt is added to enhance flavor, extend shelf life, and prevent bacterial growth. However, this preservation technique often results in a high sodium content in these foods. As we've covered earlier, this leads to water retention, which puts additional strain on our blood vessels and elevates blood pressure levels. It's important to note that not all canned or pickled foods are high in sodium. Some brands offer low sodium or no added salt versions, which can be a healthier option. Reading food labels carefully and selecting products with reduced sodium content can help you make more informed choices. Interestingly, research suggests that not all individuals are equally sensitive to sodium intake. A study published in the journal Hypertension found that individuals who were salt-sensitive had a more pronounced increase in blood pressure when consuming a high-sodium diet. This highlights the importance of considering individual factors when managing sodium intake and blood pressure. In any case, it's still wise to choose fresh or frozen vegetables instead of canned ones. This can significantly reduce your sodium intake. Additionally, homemade pickling using vinegar and lower sodium brines can provide a healthier alternative. By actively managing sodium intake from canned and pickled foods, we can take a significant step toward managing our blood pressure and reducing the risk of hypertension-related complications. Number 2. Full-fat dairy products. Before you indulge in that luscious whole milk, slice of cheese, or dollop of cream, let's explore the impact of consuming these dairy delights on your blood pressure. Research and studies have shed light on the potential risks associated with consuming large quantities of full-fat dairy products, particularly in relation to saturated fats and their effects on blood pressure and heart health. Let's start with the prime suspect: saturated fats. Full-fat dairy products contain varying amounts of saturated fats which are solid at room temperature. These fats, when consumed in excess, can increase levels of low-density lipoprotein, or LDL cholesterol. High LDL levels have been linked to an increased risk of heart disease, including hypertension. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that higher consumption of full-fat dairy products was associated with an increased risk of hypertension. Another study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that higher intake of saturated fats, including those from full-fat dairy, was associated with higher blood pressure levels. However, it's important to note that not all dairy products are created equal. Some studies have suggested that fermented dairy products, such as yogurt and certain cheeses, may have neutral or even beneficial effects on blood pressure due to their unique composition and probiotic content. These products often undergo fermentation processes that can enhance their nutritional profile and promote gut health. So, in moderation, full-fat dairy products can still be a part of a balanced diet. The key lies in portion control and mindful consumption. Going for reduced-fat dairy options can help mitigate the intake of saturated fats, while still providing essential nutrients like calcium and vitamin D. So, the next time you pour a glass of milk or savor a slice of cheese, be mindful of portion sizes and consider opting for reduced-fat alternatives. You'll greatly benefit from making choices that support your long-term well-being, while still enjoying that dairy goodness. Number 1. Pastries and sweets. Pastries and sweets are irresistible treats that tickle our senses and tempt us with their sugary allure. But before you surrender to the seduction of your next delectable dessert, think about the potential consequences of these indulgences on your blood pressure. Research and studies have highlighted the detrimental effects of pastries and sweets, which are often laden with added sugars, unhealthy fats, and refined carbohydrates. These components, when consumed in excess, can have a profound impact on our weight, insulin resistance, and ultimately blood pressure. In particular, added sugars are notorious culprits, lurking in many pastries and sweets. These sugars, whether it's white sugar, high fructose corn syrup, or other sweeteners, can contribute to weight gain, elevated blood sugar levels, and an increased risk of hypertension. Numerous studies have linked high sugar intake to weight gain and obesity, which are closely associated with the development of high blood pressure. Also, excessive sugar consumption can lead to an energy imbalance, as these sugary treats tend to be calorie-dense while lacking in satiety. Furthermore, regular consumption of high-sugar foods can disrupt our body's delicate balance of blood sugar and insulin regulation. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, which is closely linked to the development of hypertension and other cardiovascular problems. But it's not just the sugars in pastries and sweets that can affect blood pressure. Unhealthy fats and refined carbohydrates, commonly found in these treats, can also contribute to cardiovascular concerns. Worse, these refined carbohydrates are quickly absorbed by the body, leading to rapid spikes in blood sugar levels. These spikes can put stress on the cardiovascular system, causing blood pressure to rise. To illustrate the connection, a study published in the Journal of Hypertension found that a diet high in added sugars and refined carbohydrates was associated with increased blood pressure levels in adults. This is why it's a great idea to consider fruit-based desserts, homemade treats with reduced sugar content, or incorporating whole grains. All of these can help satisfy your sweet tooth while minimizing the impact on blood pressure. And that wraps up our video on the top 8 worst foods for high blood pressure. While these foods should be consumed in moderation or avoided, it doesn't mean we have to say goodbye to them forever. We can still indulge in these foods occasionally as long as it's within reason. Stay mindful of portion sizes and make healthier overall choices. Remember, a balanced diet is the key to managing high blood pressure. Fill your plate with an abundance of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. And don't forget to consult with your doctor and a dietitian to personalize your dietary approach. Thank you for joining us on this journey to better understand the impact of food on blood pressure. We hope this information empowers you to make better decisions and embrace a lifestyle that supports optimal cardiovascular health. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more heart health-related content. Together, let's make strides toward a healthier future, one plate at a time.